Vach, everybody. Good Vach, Shlomo.
Good Vach, Shalom Aleichem. How are you?
Shalom. We're really lucky and blessed. I got a phone call after a lot of nudging. Baruch Hashem. I told Shlomo, if you ever come to Crown Heights, please let me know. And that's what happened. We got a call. Thank you very much for coming.
Oh, thank you for having us. We're very excited.
So, as usual, first we're going to start our song, and then we're going to get out to, a bunch of different songs that we have prepared. In the meantime, if you have any requests, old songs, new songs, Shlomo Simcha, or if anything, please go ahead. Here we go.
I hope everybody had a nice Shabbos. I don't know what you sang today for Mimkoimcha, or if you did. This is what we did. Oy vey, oy 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 oy, malakenu. So yefia, aha yevesim Eloi, V'sim Eloich Oleinu Ki mechakim Anachnu Lo. Feel free to join us wherever you are. Mosai etimeloich bevetzion bekoron uyabeyomeinu Yerushalayim irecho noyledai levadoin ledai levadoin Benshimon
Wow, shkoyach. Do you guys hear what's going on in this place? We started this week like with a bang, with a crash. Wow, it's really, really brave of you to do this right on a Motz Shabbos. You know, a lot of singers, they say that Motz Shabbos, their voice is really not in the right place, you know, after everything that they ate the whole Shabbos. And it also depends really on your mood.
I have an advantage because I most Shabbos am daven for the Yomid, so my voice always
Wow.
has to be in shape. A lot of singers, that's the day they're relaxing, unless they're doing, because of my Bal Tefillah role. I just spent a beautiful Shabbos actually by Shia Mendelowitz, has a minion in his house, and you can imagine everybody that loves music was there. And
What time did they finish Shachars?
it actually was very much Lubavitch Minion. We started at 10. It was cool for 9:30. We started at 10, but the Oilam were all wanted to sing, and we're really fired up. We had it was really beautiful Brichs HaChodesh and Musaf, and just the Oilam were, and we verbringed Shabbos and Vorchim was really incredible. So I'm pretty pumped.
That's amazing. Could I ask you like this? When did your career start? I know you've been a singer for many, many years.
We actually have it's a little bit, I don't know if you know this, but actually the first break I had, I was in Koilin in Montreal, and your father actually gave me my first professional job. He had to go, I think somebody had a
This is in Montreal.
He had to go away for Shabbos, and he asked me if I would cover for him. He was chazan in a shul.
Wow.
And I said, sure, it's not a big deal. Just get up and do what you do over here, just, you know. And I went and I covered for him in that shul. And one of the Balabatim found out about another shul that was looking for a chazan, and he recommended me and suggested that I apply for the job. And I ended up 5 years being in the Bailey shul in Montreal. So actually there was a family connection there.
Jeez. Do you know that was actually a very, very special shul? She Levita davened in that shul. A lot of big chazanim.
Yes.
Rabbi Hirschsprung was the Rav in that shul. And actually, that's a short time later, that's when I got to know you. I was 10 years old. I was a little boy, and they were making a choir. And that's when I got involved. That was actually my first time, too.
That's right. That was very impromptu. I was substituting for somebody and for one of the teachers, and I didn't know what to do with you guys. So I figured, you know what?
Well, it's better for us to sing than to yell and make
trouble. I figured we're not going to get too much learning done, so why don't we do a choir? We did a choir for Hanukkah then, I remember.
That's amazing, yeah. Let's sing one of your older songs that you did. It's actually pretty famous. People don't realize that it's Shlomo Simcha was the one that did this one.
Which nigga?
Machnisi Rachmim. I know we're in Chodesh Adar.
So Machnisi Rachmim, I want you to know.
Talk about the song. I want to hear something about.
I want to tell you something. Very often, for example, Samchem. What did that niggin? That niggin was the last niggin. The Motche was doing a double album, and they figured that they need one more song on the album, and it was literally they called up Moshe Laufer, and it was the last niggin to go on. And if you look, those of you who remember what a cassette is, it's the second cassette. The last song is Samchem, and it was the hit of the album. So Machnisi Rachamim, we'd pretty much finished recording. We'd put down the rhythm tracks in my first album, and very exciting times. And Shia got a call from Chaim Bennett. We were in the studio, and this song he had just composed that he was going to do with the Vishnitz in Haifa. It was a song that he'd prepared for Yom HaNoraim, and he sang it to Shia, and Shia sang it to me, and there was nothing to talk about. We fell in love with it right away. There was such a kedusha with that song. The musicians had already left, and Shia got on the phone, and I remember Yaron Gershovsky was still not too far away, and he came back, and there was Yaron, and there was a saxophone, and Yaron came and did a rhythm section, and we added just saxophone, and I sang it pretty much in one take. I was so taken by the niggin, I Pasha just sang the niggin down, and that was it. And Shia decided, with the purity of the niggin, he's not touching it. It was just piano and sax. That was the whole niggin. And it was the last thing to go on the album. It was something that came at the last minute. And of course, 10 years later, Abish Brot sang at the CMS Shas the melody to Yiddish words, and shortly afterwards I was at Chasanas, and I was at a Chasana, and a Bocher came over and said, "Do you know Abish Brot's Machnis Rachamim?" And I said, "I don't know. How does it go? Teach it to me."
That's funny. But that's what happens. A lot of times I see this. Somebody makes a song, the singer comes out with it, before you know it.
I think in fairness, there is every singer gives a certain something to a niggin. So there is a combination between the composer and the person that delivers the niggin. So there is something. I did today in the Svar, they do Yehirotzen for Birchas HaChodesh, and I do it to Ritzei, composed by Yossi Green, that Avramel sang to Ritzei, which is incredible. And of course somebody came over and said, that was Avramel's Ritzei, right? And I said, yes, and Yossi Green's, because they both gave something to the niggin. There's the person who composes it and the person who delivers it each add a specific something, which is why people tend to refer to both.
You could tell the way Yossi Green sings it in one way, in his way, and Fried has his way. And they're both really amazing. We had Yossi Green one Shabbos, one Motz Shabbos, and he sang a lot of his songs. It sounded so beautiful, so heartsick, in a different way that Avremel sang it. But usually when a composer sings it, he sings it,
But Yossi wants that. When Yossi gives me a niggin, he says, I don't want to hear it back how I did it. I want you to take it somewhere. He's very into that.
Wow. So I think, and the truth is, that even Shlomo sang, the way you did in Kraimcha, just a few minutes ago, you added something so amazing. It's like your signature. It really became, when I sing it, even I hear you singing it in my head.
I think it's an important thing whenever, and I say this to the oilam out there, whenever you sing a niggin, make it your own. The Eibishter gave us, we have vocal cords and we have an neshama, and they're connected.
What does it say?
And it's a vehicle to express a feeling, and one should not be afraid to express their own pirish, the way they hear the words.
So here we're gonna go. We're gonna do Machnise. C minor. Oh yeah. Who made this intro? Hold on a second before we start. This intro was part of the song?
It's a good question. I was probably Moshe Laufer.
Oh yeah? A lot of times I see this. He comes out with like these brilliant intros, and it's just, it brings such a varmkeit to the song. Let's do one more time. Favorites.
Machnise rachamim, achnis rachameinu, lifnei bal rachamim, mashmiye tefilo, hashmiye tfiloseinu. Lifnei shoymei tefilo, mashmiye etzioko, hashmiye tzakoseinu. Lifnei shoymei etzioko, machnisei dimo. Achnis di Moisei Litnei melech misratze bin Mois Oy 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 yishtanu Yarbu dechino Oy yarbu dechino Vakobo vosho
Oy lifnei melech keiram niso melech keiram niso yo yo ishtanu yarbut khino hay hay yarbut khino va kobosho hay lifnei melech keiram niso melech keiram niso did he know
So it takes a lot of people to make one song. You know, there's the musician, there's the singer, there's the composer. And when it all comes together, that's when you get a full picture. That's when you see like a full art. And really when the composer comes up with a song, he doesn't even imagine where the song is going to go after it goes through the singer, after it goes through, you know, the Moshe Laufer and the studio, the engineer. Everybody has their, you know, the piece that they bring in. But
you have to have a meeting of the mind sometimes, because sometimes people go off in a different direction.
Yeah, but you know what gets me is the fact that you said before you did this in one take. And the Gemara, sometimes you see it says twice lashon rishon, and I see this so many times. By the way, could focus the camera a little bit better, the focus itself. Thank you. That I see that, you know, because I work in a studio, and sometimes a singer comes in and he's just so focused, and you just did one recording and you say, this is it. Leave it, don't touch it, this is perfect. And then the singer sometimes says, yeah, just want to fix this and fix that, and I don't know what it is. It's like the first time it was just perfect. And some singers record again and again and again until they actually feel that they got it.
It happened one time. I was going over a piece. I wasn't sure what I was reaching for, but I kept hearing it back, and I was trying to. And I said, and the engineer was not a Jewish fellow, but he was working with me. And after like the fifth time, I said, let's do it. I can do it better. And he turned to me and says, not better, different. What do you mean better? Well, how do you define what is? You're going for a certain feeling. You're trying to do something different. You do it differently. But what does it mean better? There was nothing wrong with what you did. Sometimes you're trying to express something and you're not sure that you nailed it. So you're thinking it's just different interpretations. But music is an interpretation.
So interesting.
And I once asked Yisrael Lam.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he comes in the studio, we record, and then he goes home and I sing to it, and we add choir, and then it's mixed. I said, you know, does it always end up the way you intend? He said, not really. I said, so what's your favorite time? What's your favorite time in the arrangements? Like, is it right when we finish recording it and you're hearing the music before we mess it all up? He said, no. He said, the favorite time for me is when I complete an arrangement in my head before I put it to paper. He said, then it's perfection. He says, once I'm megashim it, I start writing, and then the musician has to interpret, and he says, it's all watered down from there. He says, the perfect moment is when I hear it in my head.
Wow.
So often the challenge...
That's very surprising.
It's a profound statement, and I realize that often the challenge is, even, a composer, it's a piece of his neshama, and he's handing it over to you. And he's asking you to express it to the oilam, and it's how do you take that over? And different neshamas feel things differently, and sometimes you nail it, sometimes you don't.
Could you imagine Alachas Kama V'Kama when Hashem created this world, the way Hashem had it in Yisrael Olu B'Machshava? Could you imagine the
Could you imagine
daggers
we
and
were once
daggers?
perfect before we actually...
Exactly. And there's still, right now, there's actually a dagger that we are perfect.
Yeah.
You know, Mikamcha Yisrael. That's... Okay, what else could we do? There's another Shleimele that you do so well. You know, what's amazing here, that's Shlomo Carlebach sang so much from the heart, and it's just inspired so many. And what's, in addition to you, is it's Shlomo Simcha. And this Simcha, if you notice, Shlomo Simcha is a singer that there's always a smile on your face. I see it all the time. Whenever I see you, it's like a smile that's nitbak lapanim. It's there the whole time.
Baruch Hashem, we try. Listen, it's simchas and avodah to be
It
b'simcha.
is.
You know, often when you feel that people look to you for simcha, it becomes an achrayus that you have to be b'simcha. If I walk into shul in the morning, I'm not on fire. They're like, what's the matter? What do you mean? We're relying on you.
Manishtana.
So sometimes you do for others, it helps your own avodah.
Wow. Are you the only one in your family that sings?
No, Kanahara, we're 8
Where
boys.
did this start from?
We're 8 brothers, and we
Wow,
all, Baruch Hashem, sing. There's 8 boys and 5 girls, and we all sing. And
Could you imagine a Shabbos table in the Suffern family
Shabbos
growing up?
tables were incredible, and we thought it was normal. We thought it went on in every house to sit till 2, 3 in the morning and
Wow.
sing and harmonize and do.
And you didn't know that outside there's a whole audience.
I remember we went for my parents' 20th wedding anniversary. We all went home for 24 hours. And so many of us, where we going to sleep, make arrangements, but nobody got into bed. We sang the entire night. It's incredible. There's something about that, not the professional. It's just totally just
And
the
who instilled
achdus
that?
coming together.
It comes from the children? Did it come from the parents?
My father was about tefillah. My father was about koira. My father had a nice voice, and my mother's side of the family also had beautiful voices. And my mother had tremendous talent in music. She majored in university in music and theory, and then she came from a real literature home, and they were worried that she shouldn't have a career in music. And then she started working in Lubavitch and became a Lubavitcher.
In Lubavitch, there's always room for a career in anything. Just put Lubavitch on it, and it's...
And then it became...
you do it the right way.
All the kids, of course, Limud Kodesh, only Limud Kodesh. And it was quite a mixed marriage. My mother's side of the family were Einiklach from Rebelli Lapian. It was a real Litvischer family. And my father became Lubavitch. But my mother, very interestingly, she saw something in me, and she taught me music theory. She taught me to
Could
write
you say
music.
that again for the audience? People need to hear this.
My mother, two interesting things. One is I remember I loved music, and nobody went to. My father wouldn't take any of us to concerts. It wasn't the thing. But my mother took me, and my mother, Kanahara, with 13 children, she didn't really take us out. Certainly not one-on-one. But
Not even to a restaurant. Anyway, I know.
I never saw a restaurant until I left home. I mean, whoever went to a restaurant.
Wow.
So she took me to a concert in Wembley Stadium. I remember it was Mordechai Ben David and Yigal Salek. And I remember I said to her, I hope one day I'll be up there. And when I got older, she taught me the basics of reading music. And which came to use
That's amazing.
recently.
It's actually Lubavitch Shita that when you have a talent, you add it up. You take this talent and you use it in the most special way that you could. You use it to the max in Avodah Sakedesh, and you're doing a great job at this.
Thank you very much. I recently had the honor of doing. It was on Shlomo Carlebach's birthday. There was a symphony. An evening of music of Shlomo Carlebach done to a symphony orchestra with 50-piece orchestra with Ofer Sobel. And had I not known how to read music, I would not be able to be in that show. Wow! So I mean, I don't read fluently.
How many Jewish music? How many Jewish singers know how to read music, guys? Give it up for Shlomo. This is not a simple zach.
That's my mother, actually. She had the foresight.
Wow! You know the Kosovitsky brothers, Moshe Kosovitsky, David Kosovitsky. They were all chazanim. So the joke is that the mother actually said this. There was probably a conservatory of music in my stomach. That they were also musical. Of course, they know how to read music also. But it's an avodah. And it's usually not a musician's thing because, especially the more music you have in you, reading music is like almost it's a second part of the brain, side of the brain.
Yeah.
So it's not easy, and it's discipline, and so kol hakavod. Let's do another shleim. Could we?
Sure. What would you like?
We should be adding. I know we're pushing you to the max. And on Motz Shabbos, guys, you guys really, really have to give it up because singers usually are not so brave.
Sure.
But we have this request, and I actually requested too. Oh, okay. No, that's actually going to the fire, right?
Yeah. It's probably one of the most requested nigunim really of all times. I mean, for the longest period of time, and between all the social medias tonight, seems to be the most requested.
Wow. I think they requested mostly from you because they don't request this from any singer. No, it's true because you really bring out a good color, like you said before. Every singer brings out something else in the niggin, and this is hands down. This is yours.
It's a very Lubavitcher to know that. No yeshomedu veyidoyeso v'choyegnovosan lo moim v'yashem Eloheinu. Feel free to join us. Ato ani yisrael Kil noisei yisrael lo'oem Even noikei malali lo yisrael Yishtachav liyarei kodeshoi Ki kodosh no Yashem Elohikem v'beinu.
Wow.
Oy mi yizmor yiledovi Ayovu l'Hashem b'nei Eli Ayovu l'Hashem Kovo void void Ayovu l'Hashem Kivoid shmoy Yishtachavu l'Hashem B'yad das kovoidesh Ay Kovoy l'Hashem Avalamoyim Keila kovoidim Hashem Koy Lashem Bakoya
koi Lashem beyovodoi Oy koi Lashem shai veyado ozim vayishav Lashem esan izeyal v'onoi oy 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 Lashem Choytzev lahavoy seish Koi Lashem Yochil midbo Chil Lashem Ay midbar kodesh Koi Lashem Yochil leirayoloi Noi vayech So No yo yo vayeshev Hashem Oy melech liyom v'yilom No ya Hashem Lama b'yom v'shom Oy Hashem yivorech hesam Vashon You know, I was talking a little Lashon Hara about you. Not really. I mean, we were just with Donny Gross.
Wow.
And we were talking what we love about you, what we like playing with you.
Wow.
Every time you switch on your keyboard, it's like there's an excitement, like it's your first time. It's like the first time you're gonna play this nigga.
Sometimes I feel like it's my first time.
You know, sometimes you show up at these jobs, and guys that are working night after night, they're like, "Come on, what time we finish?" And you're coming in there like with that fresh excitement
It's
every
so
time,
funny.
and that's.
That's why it's such a
It's
pleasure
so funny
to.
that you're saying that, because the truth is, I feel like that every time I open up this case from this keyboard, I'm like, okay, baby, what are we gonna do today? And
You
each
should
time,
never lose that excitement.
each time, it's crazy because, like, yeah, we just went on live here. We didn't plan anything. It's just you don't know what's
I
gonna
want to tell you, I
happen.
tried.
don't know
I
what's gonna-
called. I called. I said, "What are we doing? What are we
There's
doing?"
so much.
He said, "Let the audience decide. Let the audience decide. This is
Exactly.
impromptu."
And they know. The audience is always right. Chevre, the audience is always right. It happens by every chasna. People come, okay, where's your playlist? The chassan kala asks me, okay, what are the songs I'm like, we're gonna come to the wedding. Unless you want something that I shouldn't play, okay, then you tell me before. But we just come there and it's fire.
I find it interesting. If I don't prepare a list, I'm nervous. What happens if I have a blank? What am I going to do?
Yeah.
But if I prepare a list, never happens. It just once I know I have that, you let the atmosphere kind of
Exactly.
speaks
Take
to
you.
you. Right, takes you.
Wow. So how long are you going to be in town for?
I'm actually here till the end of the week. I'm here the entire week.
Wow.
There's
Chevre, you hear? Guys, if there's any simcha going on, a wedding, bar mitzvah, any party, or if you want a kumzitz, a real kumzitz, this is the Shlomo Simcha. If you want, you could message me, or just contact him on Facebook if you don't have his info. And he's available. He's gonna he's gonna turn your simcha. I don't know if you hear what's going on here today, but if I was making a wedding, I'm not making weddings yet. But if I was making one this week, I'll put you on board.
But I've been around quite a bit lately. There's a Baruch Hashem since the last album came out. There's a lot of activity and there's a lot of exciting projects going on. There's actually a project that I've just been speaking now about doing something with the Rebbe's Nigunim.
Oh wow! Which ones specific? The ones that he taught?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
You know the video series, Chaim?
Yes, that's right.
So the way
Oh my goodness.
I don't know, I'm
There's
not
a video.
This is
Hold
an
on a
unofficial, I don't know any
Yeah, let's
announcement, but
plug in. Guys, this is this is Chaim Hershkowitz. People don't even know who stands behind this project, but this is an amazing project, and we've done one DVD. It's on DVD. All the Nigunim that the Rebbe has taught. It's 14 Nigunim. So far, we did 7. And
I'm just telling you, if you don't have it, go get it.
You
right
got to
away.
get
I'm
it,
telling you,
and the
is-
second one is going to be worked on like just in a month or two. So we are honored to have Shlomo Simcha on this.
I want to tell you, my chavrusa and my mashpir, Bavram Man, who's a magachir in the yeshiva in Toronto. He came to me and said, "You've got to see this video. This is mama. You can't imagine. How often do you get a mashpir come to you? You got to watch this video. It's like, so I'm telling you, this is machaya the kids. This is something."
Wow.
And he said to me, "I want you should get involved in something like this." The next day, Min Hashemayim, I get a call from Chaim. So I said, "Well, no matter what, I'm definitely involved. We have to still, sort out exactly. But it's something that I'm very excited about and very, very proud to be part of. I think we have an incredible heritage, and we tend to lead the way for the world. And I think this is one of those projects that really,
people don't
really,
realize
really
one of
is
the strong
incredible.
tools we got is the Nigunim that we have, and if we could give this to our kids in any way, shape, or form, as long as you keep it true to
the reality
what
in the
it
world
is.
is that our kids today are from a generation where they want to pick up a device and hit a button and watch something. Give them something of teuchen. That's the bottom line.
Very well said. Wow. You would think only a good singer, a chazan, singer, and a good speaker. No, it's really to the point, Chevra. I know because the kids watch it again and again and again. Kids don't get bored from something that's real. And there's something real in the Nigunim, and kids are connected to it. I know from my kids, and I know from wherever I go, any simcha that I go to, if it's a Darkach Hashem Elokeinu, if it's any Nigun.
Shamil's Nigun, the way it was stelled is beautiful. It just gives you the whole image of the. It's incredible.
It's amazing.
Really,
They bring it to life. That's what it is. They bring it to life for the kids. Benny Friedman did a great job. Eli Marcus.
Really, really incredible. They all mamish.
They made it funny. They made it real. It's really incredible. The work is ahead. The work is still ahead. Okay, we got some requests. I know it's hard for me to keep on looking on my phone when I'm just. Guys, it takes time just to digest what's going on here.
What?
Oh, wow, yeah. We said that actually a few Yiratzins because today was Shabbos Mevarchim, and every time I say that Yiratzin, I think about your song. If I can write that special. And like this, we know the words. We know what the words mean. We could do that song. You want to do Raza Dish? You want to do that?
Sure.
I don't even know if I'm ready to do it, but
Up to you.
I haven't played it before. But
Sure, Raza?
no, Raza, we could do. Let's
do.
do Raza first.
Okay.
Okay, so first tell us a little about the song. We're going to do Raza de Shabbos. I know it's Motz Shabbos, but there's nothing like Motz Shabbos experiencing what you experience on
What is
Shabbos.
Motz Shabbos?
Yeah.
Motz Shabbos is me begleiten the Shabbos, Mlava Malkis. We don't want to let go of the Shabbos, so we were sharing.
We sing whatever we sang on Shabbos, and that's really, really special. So tell me about this song. The truth is, I heard it the first time I was in Eretz Yisrael. I heard it somewhere, probably Arutz Sheva or something, and I connected to it. Who's the
The
composer?
the Shabbos was written by Benny Hershkowitz, Olav Shalom. He's unfortunately not alive anymore. And he wrote some nice nigunim in his time. And he called me up one day and he was putting together an album. Dudi Kalish was just getting started. And Dudi, I think it was his first arrangements that he had done. And they originally were going to do it just with choir. And then they wanted to have a lead singer. And they called me up, and it was a summer. And I said, okay, it was a quiet time. I was able to do it. And Benny Hershkowitz has written incredible nigunim, and the Raza de Shabbos is one of the ones that's really, really well known. And he was a Yerushalmi Yid. It was really a pleasure. The word, a real bal regesh, a fatzaydische.
You can tell from the songs that he made.
Yeah, so he had the whole Yerushalmi geschmack, and it was really a pleasure working with him. And we did an album called Hamanagin. And I'm trying to find it myself now, trying to get it back into print because hard. In fact, Shlomo, you were mentioning that somebody was mentioning some of the comments that came in. Somebody said that the quality on Google Play was really. It's not on Google Play. It's not on Google Play, and some of the quality is really bad. But apparently, I think they sold out, and somehow it just somebody made a copy of a copy and then tried. We got to get to the bottom of exactly. See, in the Yiddish, just so people understand, in the Jewish business, the amount of albums that really need to be sold, to even break even often is a huge challenge. Even like the reason I'm pushing so hard on the project that we were talking about before is because really, to continue doing projects like that, people have to buy the products, otherwise it just can't be done.
That's why I don't make CDs, guys. I'm just kidding.
So that's always the challenge, and I think any of us, we only do what we do because we love it. It's not, there are easier things in life, but I think something like that, Benny Hershkowitz, it took a lot, and they barely had funds to put together and get the album out. And they got a record deal, which was kind of come, and they did one run of it, and then nobody really, if it's not selling 500 copies in the first week, nobody wants to sell it anymore. So to put it out, just there should be a few, And again, it came out before the days of digital, so nobody really followed that. Now that we have digital, you can put it on iTunes, you can put it in all these places, and in 100 years from now, somebody says, there once was a niggin that really was gewaldig. You can find it. And there's still that's still a challenge that we're having, is taking a lot of the old material that happened in the days when people were working on a shoestring budget and going into small studios and trying to put something together and trying to get an Aderet or a Holy Land Records, whatever it was back in the day, to try
those sold very well. They brought actually a profit because people weren't copying as much. Actually,
back in the day, there was always
Everything
copying on
Shiloh,
some
yeah.
level, and it was always a challenge. It was always a tremendous challenge. But to get all those things digitized and sold properly is something that we're all constantly working on doing. And actually, this. You're machazing me tonight to follow up, actually, and the comments that came in to follow up and see that we can get some good copies of this available.
Which key could we do this? Raza de Shabbos. Raza de Shabbos.
Don't be shy. You can join in. This is very relaxed. It's
So really, this is a Shabbos the Kenigin. You feel Shabbos, you feel Yerushalayim. So guys, get involved.
And even those of you, I know some of you are watching from Australia. I know it's Sunday afternoon, but still,
Rozo de Shabbos Shabbos Sachtas belovos odiecho Oyoyoyere mishre yalovos odiecho Rozo de Shabbos Nice song, yeah. Rozo de Shabbos Shabbos Sachtas belovos odiecho No yo ere mishrei alovos odiecho Rozo de Shabbos Rozo de Shabbos Shabbos Pisachdan Rozo Deyecho No boyle mish lebeyalo Rozo Deyecho Rozo de Shabbos Shabbos Hoy Rozo de Shabbos Shabbos Sachdan Rozo Deyecho No ele mishleveyalo Rozo Deyecho Rozo de Shabbos Shabbos Shirei alovos odiecho Rozo de Shabbos Ay, Rozo de Shabbos Shabbos Hisarda Rozo Deyecho Rozo de Shabbos Shabbos Oy Rozo de Shabbos Shabbos
There's another part. I think it wasn't Michal Streicher that sang it a little bit.
He sang it differently. The Shabbos Shabbos Sardan Midot Yevechot No yo le
But he did it on a lower key, so.
But no, I was on do the key, but I remember I used to love the way Michal did it. I learned it from Michal, and then when I did the album with Benny was like, that's not the way I wrote it, it's not what I had in mind. So I was like, okay,
sometimes composers get into that thing. People don't realize that when a composer does it, in many songs, even songs that Fried sang that from, from Palais, I heard the story from even from Shlomo Simcha and I, when he composed a song. he really wanted it to be sung the way he intended.
I'll tell you, Moshe Aaron, before we recorded it, Shlomo was still alive, and Shia made me go and sit with him and make sure that he was happy with the version. Yeah, Shia had a tremendous relationship and a tremendous respect for the art. And I sang it, a version that he had sang in Brooklyn College. That was the recording that Shia gave me to learn it from. And the only change was the last note. Otherwise, every single note was
Oh my
Shlomo.
goodness. You passed the test in flying colors.
Shlomo then Hashem Yevarech es Amo, and I went Amo, just that one up. And I remember he looked at me and he said, brother, if I could have done that, I would have done that too. He said,
whoa. Chevre.
So
Yismach Moshe v'matnas chelkei. Yismach Shleimim.
so Baruch Hashem, we had the approval on that, and otherwise every note was exactly Shlomo. So I mean,
That's big
I understand
stuff.
it. You know, it's funny. You know, Tira Bishmo. I actually worked on it with Yossi together. Yossi called me up. He says, you know, nobody's had the chutzpah to write a niggin for these words since Kvartin. I want to, you know. So Yimoisa Mashiach chutzpah yazgi. He said, I want to write a Tira Bishmo. We spent a few hours on the phone, and I was very excited, and I played it to Shia. She said, I can't put that and Moshe Aaron on the same. So
We're giving them too much. We're selling. We're not getting our money's worth here. That's amazing.
So we said, okay, we'll leave it. In the meantime, Avremel ended up recording it, and I'm listening to it, and I'm a huge fan of Avremel. I grew up on his music. I listen to everything he does, and I love it. I mean, his interpretation, his neshama, and it's incredible. I mean, I can't say enough. Tira Bishmuel, I had a preset motion in my mind of what it should be. So when I heard that nigga, it was the only time I went, oi, no, nothing wrong. It's just he had his own interpretation, but I had it preset in my head because
You got to do this,
But,
then. We want to hear yours. I listened to Avramel's many times also. It's actually interesting because usually he tries to do more simcha thing, you know, or with a message. I was actually surprised when he came up with it.
It was beautiful. It was incredible.
Oh,
It's just when you have a
listened to it
preconceived
more than
notion, you
100
have to
times.
get, you know, today I can't, you know, I mean, I love it. But
Wow. Well, we're not going to do tea here now. But, so how did this song, because I'm getting requests for this song, and especially anybody that did Tillim today, because of Shabbos and Vorchim, so they said this Yihiratzin a few times. Anybody remember this one?
I hope I do. כשם שיונו אומרים לפונך שירה שירה בואי לא מזה כשם שיונו אומרים לפונך אוי 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 שירה בואי לא כך נזכה לו עם לפונך נוי השם אלוהינו ואלוהיקי אבויסנו שירה 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 אוי 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 שירו שבוכו ליוי לא ממבו
I'm not ready. I don't remember.
Al yedei
Hold on a second.
amidas tehillim.
Yeah, hold on a second. We're going to get this right. There we go.
Oy al yedei amidas tehillim. Al yedei amidas tehillim. Al yedei amidas tehillim. Tisoyre chavatzel esa shoroy. Al yedei Amidas Tehillim, V'al Yedei, Amidas Tehillim, V'al Yedei, Amidas Tehillim, Tisoy Rechavatzel Lesashoroim Lo Shir B'Koyel Koyel Elohim, V'Gilaz V'Ranein Lo Shir B'Koyel Koyel Elohim, V'Gilaz V'Ranein Lo Shir B'Koyel Koyel Elohim, V'Gilaz V'Ranein, V'Gilaz V'Ranein Lo Shir B'Koyel Koyel Elohim, V'Gilaz V'Ranein Lo Shir B'Koyel Koyel Elohim, V'Gilaz V'Ranein Lo Shir B'Koyel Koyel Elohim, V'Gilaz V'Ranein, V'Gilaz V'Ranein, Yal Yidei, Amidas Tehillim, Yal Yidei, Amidas Tehillim, Yal Yidei, Amidas Tehillim, Tisoy Rechavatzel Lesashoroim Lo Shir B'Koyel Koyel Elohim, V'Gilaz V'Ranein Lo Shir B'Koyel Koyel Elohim, V'Gilaz V'Ranein Lo Shir B'Koyel Koyel Elohim, V'Gilaz V'Ranein, V'Gilaz V'Ranein Lo Shir B'Koyel Koyel Elohim, V'Gilaz V'Ranein Lo Shir B'Koyel Koyel Elohim, V'Gilaz V'Ranein Lo Shir B'Koyel Koyel Elohim, V'Gilaz V'Ranein, Gilaz V'Ranein, Kach nizke lo ima lefonecho, Lo Yashem Elokeinu v'Elokei Avo Yisraelu, Shiroi shiru shilocho, Oy 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 shiru shilocho, Shiru shilocho, Lo good times.
I remember that song. I thought I remembered it better, but that's amazing. You know, everyone who said Tillim today, who started this thing to say Tillim Shabbos and Varchim? Mr. Fiedekreber, right?
Yes.
He said if we would know the power of Tillim, we would be saying Tillim nonstop. There's a lot of stories in the Lubavitcher Tillim about saying Tillim. It's just a little plug for, you know, the Fiedekreber kochtach a lot in saying Tillim.
And Bechlal, I mean, it's from the Baal Shem Tov still. I mean, the Baal Shem Tov's wife was a famous man. The Baal Shem Tov's wife, you say to Hillel, and somebody heard that Ivra wasn't so perfect, and the Baal Shem Tov would say, "Do you know? Let me tell you what from my wife's tremendous nisim and that went on and Yeshuas that came." And Lemaisa with music today, most of the songs come from Tehillim, so we're all essentially involved in saying Tehillim.
We sing Tehillim, we say Tehillim. That's really special. Any other requests? We're going to do one more, maybe.
I don't mind.
Oh wow! I think we're giving them too much for one Motz Shabbos. It's out there that CD. What key you want to do this on?
You know, I was once I was singing live on a radio thing, and people were sending in texts. You know, so. In one note I did, there was a little bit of a krecht, a little bit of phlegm. Mm-hmm. So what was that? So I said, what was that? That was a little bit of phlegm. It reminds us all that we're human beings. I don't think a niggin needs to be perfect. It needs to be sung by a human being. If you need to cough in the middle, if you need a little krecht, a little bit of phlegm, a little bit.
Leave it in there. Leave it in there. Don't auto-tune everything.
Exactly. If it's too perfect, it lacks. You know, it
organic.
lacks
People, you know, we just have a choice. You know, if you want to buy this CD, you want to buy it, you know, perfect, or you want to buy it organic. And you should pay more for the organic one because you know you get to hear everything. You get to hear the you know, the singer breathing. You get to hear his, you know, everything.
I always wonder about that. You pay more for organic, but they do less. It's like, but No, when you're gonna play a CD over and over again, you want it to be perfect. When you're doing a live performance,
that's what people like live. If you ever put a recording for a live concert, and somebody in the crowd could tell that this is a recording, you should see that it just turns them off. This is like, oi!
they want the real.
Yeah, we want it real, and we want to hear it. It's okay. It's okay if it's not perfect. You know.
Exactly.
So, Chevra, we want it real, so we're gonna keep it real.
I'm gonna keep it real.
Whatever you hear is live. This is this is organic. This show is totally
the
organic.
Eibishter created the world, and he to complete the perfection, he gave each one of us a paintbrush. He wants us to finish it. So that's what perfection is.
wanted it
It's
perfect.
when we are putting in our part, that's the perfection.
Is this a good key?
Ribono shel olam, Ribono shel olam, Ribono shel olam, Ribono shel olam. V'sein chalkeinu chalkeinu b'soir osecho. V'zakeinu kedei shetishre shchinoscho v'aleinu. V'sein chalkeinu chalkeinu b'soir osecho. V'zakeinu kedei shetishre shchinoscho v'aleinu. Maleini shalois libi letoivo ve'yofeg retzoini oy v'sein sheilo si oy ribono shel olam. Maleini shalois libi letoivo ve'yofeg retzoini oy v'sein sheilo si oy ribono shel olam. Ratzoy mifonecho Hashem Elokeinu v'Elokei Avoseinu Shetizakenu lasois Maasim toivim beinecho V'lo lechem V'darchei yesharim lefonecho V'lo lechem V'darchei yesharim lefonecho V'kadesheinu V'kedusho serecho Kedei שנזכה לחיים טובים וארוכים חיי אוילום מבוא ריבונו של עולם ריבונו של עולם כדי שנזכה לחיים טובים וארוכים וחיי אוילום מבוא ריבונו של עולם ריבונו של עולם
ריבונו של עולם, כדי שנזכה לחיים טובים וארוכים ולחיי העולם הבא. ריבונו של עולם, ריבונו של עולם.
Take it away, Shlomo.
לחיים טובים וארוכים ולחיי העולם הבא. ריבונו של עולם, ריבונו של עולם, ריבונו של עולם, כדי שנזכה לחיים טובים ולחיים ולחיי העולם הבא. ריבונו של עולם, ריבונו של עולם, ריבונו של עולם.
Wow. What a good way to start this week. Chavre, give it up. Write the comments. Tell me how Shlomo Simcha is doing. This is unbelievable. This is
Thank you
like,
very much.
just
Thank you
took
very much
off
what
the roof of the
you
studio.
give to the Olam to come here on a Motz Shabbos
Wow.
and to give a little chiyus to Klal Yisrael to be
You give a lot of chayis. I'm telling you, you took this Motz Shabbos. I never.
It's absolutely
this is
a team
exactly what it
effort.
is. I opened up this thing and I couldn't imagine what's going to take place over here.
Chevra, this is the whole mishpacha is involved. There's a
You
lot of people.
definitely
It doesn't just
inspired
happen
me.
on
You
its
definitely
own.
gave me a big chizuk for this week, for this month. Thank you for all the websites. You know, we show this on COL. We show this on Gruntig, Yeshiva World, Basis Nayis, Jewish Tidbits, Matzah.com, and in Israel they show it on Kikar Shabbat. Yeah, כל הצופים בכיכר השבת, שיהיה לכם שבוע טוב, הרבה שמחה, הרבה שלמה
שבוע
שמחה.
טוב, מזל טוב.
הרבה ברכה, ובעזרת השם שנזכה לחגוג את חג הפסח, in ירושלים.
ירושלים אל הקודש, אמן.
הגות תבוך, הגות תבוך, הגות תבוך.
גוט טוב, מזל טוב.